people. So the one thing you need with elimination is you need for a specific variable to have the same term, the same coefficient, preferably the same coefficient with opposite signs, though, one positive and one negative. You can do it either way. My preference, though, is to have a positive version. So here we have 9x and here we have negative 9x. What? Yes, taking notes is always a good idea.
Didn't you do this on the one? Wasn't it negative 9? Or was it negative? It was 8 negative.
Yeah, probably. All right. So, okay.
I watched the video.
Hey, guys. Alright, so I have 9x minus 4y equals negative 3, and I have negative 9x plus 7y equals 12. Elimination, we're going to add these two together. Now, the reason we can do this, remember we have a rule for equations that as long as you do the same thing to both sides of the equation, then the two sides are still equal, right?
Yes.
So we're going to add 12 to this side of the equation, right? Which is okay as long as I add 12 to this side. Well, guess what? 12 is equal to this, so I am adding 12 to this side of the equation, and I'm adding 12. Because the two sides are equal, I can add this to that, and I can add this to that, and you're still going to end up with an equation where the two sides are equal. Okay, so that's our justification. That's the reason why we can add two equations together and end up with an equation that's still true. Now, the advantage to it is, of course, that 9x minus 9x is 0x, which is just 0. So we can simply eliminate, thus the elimination method, we can eliminate the x term, which leaves me with a y term and a constant. So negative 4y plus 7y is 3y. And negative 3 plus 12 is positive 9. And now I have a one-step variable equation. 3y equals 9. So all I need to do is, and I get y equals 3. So, wait. Okay. Because I want this to cancel out. If I subtract 9 minus negative 9, that'd be 9 plus 9, which would be 18. So I'm going to add them because they're opposite signs. So the way they're going to cancel out. And that's why I prefer opposite signs, because then you do addition and people tend to make less mistakes with addition. You can, or I'm going to show you another way to do it in just a second. So, all right, so rather than subtraction. All right, so we add them together. That eliminates one term, in this case the x term, which leaves me with 3y equals 9. Divide by 3, we get y equals 3. And then just like every other kind, we plug in, pick either equation. So I'll use the first one. So 9x minus 4y equals negative 3. And I'm going to replace y with 3. So I get 9x minus 4 times 3 equals negative 3. So 9x minus 12 equals negative 3. I'm going to add 12 to both sides. So I get 9x equals 9.
Divide by 9, you get.
And then divide by 9, and we get x equals 1. So my solution is x is 1, y is 3. Now, like I told you guys yesterday, one really nice thing about any kind of equation is that you can always check your answer. And guys, you guys have scientific calculators that you can use. This is so easy to check. In your calculator, put 9 times, well, x is 1, so 9 times 1 minus 4 times 3, and hit enter.
Negative 3.
And if it tells you anything other than negative 3, then you've made a mistake. Okay? And then type in negative 9 times Well, x is 1, so 1 plus 7 times 3. And the nice thing about a scientific calculator, it does order of operations for you and everything. So just plug it in, hit enter, and it should give you 12. And as long as both of those work out, then that gives you like 100% security that you have the correct solution to this system of equations. So then you can hit submit on IXL with confidence.
What was the second equation? What was it?
Negative 9 times 1 plus 7 times 3.
Oh. Yeah, I got 12.
All right.
Putting 7 times the 1.
Now, let's look at another one. Okay, so here's another one that we're going to solve using elimination. Now, guys, now the difference with this one is I have negative 6x and I have negative 6x. So instead of having opposite signs, I have the same. Now, you can treat this as subtraction and do it that way. The only reason that I kind of prefer to do it a different way is because people tend to make more mistakes when they subtract with negative numbers. So what I suggest doing is before you start, and IXL teaches it the same way, so if if you miss one and you go through their little explanation, it shows you to do it the same way. I'm going to keep the first one the same, so I'm going to leave it negative 6x plus 2y equals 12. But now my second equation, I don't want negative 6x, I want positive 6x. So I'm going to multiply by negative 1. But if I multiply this side of the equation by negative 1, I have to multiply that side by negative 1. But here's the thing about multiplying by negative 1. All it does is change your sign. The numbers all stay the same. So instead of negative 6x plus 5y equals negative 15, it will be positive 6x minus 5y equals positive 15. So
Is that going to be on a video?
it's on this video I'm recording right now, and it was on the video from yesterday.
You're recording? Yeah, so
I'm recording.
when you watch a video, you're
I don't know why this is so novel. I record like every day, everything that I do.
They record at like 3 in the morning.
Alright. I don't always post 8th period because y'all tend to get off topic and we waste time more. Alright. Now, guys. Now, from here, guys. From here, since I now have opposite signs, I can now, guys. From here, since I have opposite signs now, I can treat it as addition. So if I add negative 6x and positive 6x, they get eliminated, right? We get rid of the x's. Positive 2 plus negative 5 gives me negative 3y. 12 plus 15 gives me 27. Now, one thing I want you to notice is if I did the original problem and I think of it as subtraction, I'm going to get the same thing. Negative 6x minus negative 6x, those eliminate because minus a negative is plus a positive, so that'll still subtract. 2 minus 5 is negative 3. And 12 minus negative 15 is 12 plus 15, which is 27. Same exact thing as if I multiply through by a negative and then add them. Like I said, the main reason, though, that I like this way a little bit better is because there's probably at least a third of you in here that are going to mess up on the 12 minus negative 15 thing and do 12 minus 15 instead of 12 minus negative 15. And then you're going to end up getting negative 3 there instead of getting positive 27, and then your answer is going to be all screwed up. So that's why my suggestion is to multiply through by negative so they have opposite signs. That way you can add. You guys tend to mess up a lot less when you are adding. But it is your choice. You'll get the same answer either way as long as you don't make careless errors with your negative numbers. All right. So from there, it's a one-step equation. I got to divide through by -3, divide through by -3, and I get y equals -9. So, guys, now from here, I know what my y value is, so I pick either equation. Which one do you want to use?
The top one.
The
The
first-
bottom one.
All right, we're going to go with the top one. So, -6x plus 2 times y equals 12. But I'm going to replace y with, so -6x plus 2 times -9 equals 12. So I get -6x minus 18. And from there I'm going to add 18 to both sides. So I get -6x equals 30. And then I'll divide by -6. And I'll get x equals -5. So my solution is -5, -9. And once again, if you want to do a really quick check in your calculator, you can simply do -6 times -5 plus 2 times -9, and it should give you 12. And you can do -6 times -5 plus 5 times -9, and it should give you -15. If it doesn't, then that means we messed up. So, all right. So, that's how you do solving using elimination. You have the remainder of time in class to work on IXL level KU10. The assignment is 40 minutes. I want you to spend at least 40 minutes working on it, unless you happen to get to a SMART score of 100 before 40 minutes is over, in which case you are done. Okay? Keep in mind